Now, before we get into AI engineering, maybe working on the code and stuff, it's important to understand the basics of AI. Okay, I mean, it can be helpful to know. And if you know the basics of AI, if you know what are machine learning, deep learning, the basics of it, you can skip this video. Now, for the people who are new to AI, let's talk about AI. So what is AI? It's very simple. If you have a machine and if you want to add intelligence to your machine, that is what AI can do. So normally your machine will do things which you tell us. So when I say you, I'm talking about developers. What you do is you write a code and you mention everything, what should happen when, right? When there should be a button, when there should be a text field, when something should move from one place to other place. Now here, instead of you mentioning all the logic, AI can take over and it will do the stuff for you. So the goal here is to achieve AI, right? So that's a goal. If AI is a goal, then let's go for the method using which you can do it. So there are multiple ways of implementing AI. One of the famous way is machine learning. So you can imagine AI as a big circle. So we are going for the Venn diagram again. So AI is a big circle, and then inside that big circle, we got another circle which is for machine learning. Now, machine learning is a method, okay? Now, how do we do it? It's very simple. You ask your machine to learn. Okay, I mean, of course, you are learning machine learning, but machine need to learn how to implement AI. That's a funny stuff, but machine need to learn how to do that. Okay, and the way you do that is by training it. So you pass huge amount of data. Of course, first you have to build a model which has the capacity of learning things, okay? And if you can do that, that comes under machine learning. So if AI is a goal, machine learning is the method or the way to do it. But what about the tools? Of course, to do something, you need to work on tools. And that's where deep learning comes into picture. So if AI is a big circle, inside that we got machine learning, and inside machine learning we got deep learning. Now, what it means is there are multiple ways of implementing AI. Machine learning is one of them. There are multiple ways of doing machine learning. Deep learning is one of them. Now, why we are focusing only on the deep learning is because the models which we are going to use, those are LLM models, and they use deep learning. So it makes sense to talk about it. Now, why this word deep? Is it learning much deeper than machine learning? That's what I used to think when I started with this, but no, they're different. So deep word here came because of neural networks. Now, before we talk about deep learning, let's talk about neural network. In fact, we have talked about deep learning. That's a part of machine learning. And the word deep, it got from neural network. Now, AI always try to mimic humans, how we think, how we work, everything. In fact, robotic, they want to make it as human shape because ultimately it will be used by humans. Now, the way our brain works, so we got all these neurons in our mind. Whenever you want to take a decision, so in your mind you have learned so many things in these years, whatever your age is and from where you got the maturity, but you have learned a lot of things in your life. Now, whenever you want to take a decisions of, it can be a small decisions of what to eat now, and the biggest decision of your life, what career to choose, who should you get married and all those stuff. So you take that decision based on the input, right? So you got all these neurons connected and you give it some input, maybe through visuals or through audio, by touch. And based on that input, it processes the input and different neurons talk to each other and ultimately you get one response. Those are for people who are clear in their life. People like me who are always confused, we still use coin toss to decide what to do. So the idea is you'll be having multiple inputs or maybe one input or multiple input and you'll be having one output. Now, this is what they copied in neural network. What we have is we got different layers here. And depend upon the number of layers, we got this name. So when you have one input layer, one output layer that is fixed, in between you will be having multiple layers. If you got few layers, let's say one or two, we call it as a shallow learning. And if you got more layers in between, we call it as a deep learning. So now you know in deep learning, you'll be having multiple layers. Now, what these layers do? So the first layer, which is input layer, will take an input and the last layer, output layer, will give you the output. So example, let's say if you want to find if that image of fruit, is it apple or banana or something else. So what you do is you give the image to the first model, which is first layer, which is input layer. Now this input layer will take the image, maybe just find the pixels and get the detail about the image. Now this data will be passed to the next layer. Now imagine all these layers, they are actually neurons, but imagine all these boxes there or circles there are humans. Now, based on the image, they will try to guess, okay, that image looks like round. So it should be lemon, or it should be apple, or it should be, what else we have round, maybe pear. So basically you get all these suggestions from all these neurons based on this shape. Then some particular person will guess, okay, now that's red color, so it should be apple. Now all these inputs, so in fact, all these outputs from this first layer will go to the next layer, and then go to the next layer. And ultimately, let's say the output layer is a decision maker by saying, okay, we got we got lemon. That's the output. And then as a user or as a trainer of neural network, you will say, okay, no, that was apple. You guessed it lemon. That's wrong. Now, when you build these models for the first time or neural network, basically they will always go for random stuff. It will give you a wrong output. And this is where you have to train. You have to say, okay, no, that was apple, not lemon. Now they will just backtrack. They will say, okay, someone made a mistake here. So they will track each layer by saying, okay, you suggested lemon, so I have to give you less weightage now. Okay, now that's a word, weight. Okay, so we have to use weights as a word, or maybe you can imagine the knob. So this particular person, you will get the less weightage or less importance. Now this importance goes from -1 to +1. That's the range. Now, when you say -1, so if a person gets -1, that means whatever that person says, always think reverse. If the person says it's white, it's black. Then if a person gets the weightage 1, highest importance. If the person says it is white, it is white. If a person got weightage 0 or near 0, that's you can simply skip it. Doesn't matter what they say. And that's how basically you take these decisions, right? So each neuron will give some input to the next layer, and that layer will decide, okay, so we got input from two different neurons. One got bigger weightage, one got less weightage, and that's how you compare. Now, of course, I'm not getting into maths of neural network because it will take 1 year to do that, and we don't have that much of time. And we are not even getting into machine learning, right? We are getting into AI engineering. So you don't need to know what mathematical stuff they are doing. What is important is the terms. So whenever you work with a new models, or if you get stuck somewhere, you want to fine tune it, you need to understand those words, what they're discussing about. And one of the word is neural network, one of the word is weights. So that's how we got this word, right, which is deep learning. Now, the next concept you have to understand is transformers. Now, if you heard about ChatGPT or GPT in general, the T here is transformers, and it has actually transformed AI. Now how? So before transformers, we used to use different models, like one of them is RNN. And whenever you give, it was not good for language stuff. So whenever you want to talk to the models, of course, the model will get the input from you. It will try to understand the context, what you're talking about. So let's say if I say the cat was playing whole day and now it is tired. Now, when you give such a big sentence, of course, it's small for humans, but for machines with those models, they were finding it difficult to keep a track, to make the attention on each word. So the cat was playing all day, done, better, and then it says now it is tired. So the moment it says it, what that it means. So that's where these models were getting confused. And when transformer came into picture, transformer came with something called self-attention. Now transformer has this capability to understand the entire context and work with multiple words at the same time. So even if you pass a bigger prompt on your ChatGPT, it knows how to process it because of transformers. So GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. So that's the transformer we are talking about. So you can also imagine if a transformer is reading a book, basically the models before transformer, when they were reading book, they were reading like humans. So in general, I'm talking about myself. So when I read a book, and if I'm in a mood, of course, I can just read continuously and I will understand. But sometimes, my mind is somewhere, and when I'm reading things, I read the line, and then when I go for the next line, I forgot what I read in the previous line. Okay, that is what happened with the previous models like RNN. But with transformers, they carry the highlighter with them, and every time they read a book or something, they just highlight the points on which they have to work on. So each word gets the weight or some importance, and that's how they do it. So yeah, once we know the basics of it now, we can head towards the code and understand this in a proper way.